So this is gonna be a quick one. It's not gonna be that long. Hope I don't get too much of this background noise. Not of my this window, but yeah, man. I seen these two, well, three girls earlier, man. They were laughing at this lady in the wheelchair, and she had like a some foam. It was like a little foam bat or something on the back of her chair, and they were laughing. So I blew my horn at them, and then they stopped and turned around, started walking towards the house. I don't know because I did that or because they were, the lady got close enough to see them laughing and stuff. And then it reminded me of my boys where I had to snap on them. Um, they was in Target, and there was a grown man. He was short. He was real short, actually about their height. You know, I think my son's about five, 5'3", 5'2" or so. I think I'm shorter than him. Well, the both. I was like, you don't laugh at no grown man. I don't care how short, how tall he. Man, I see StreamYard playing today, boy. So it did this earlier when I was doing my Mother's Day video. I had to go back. I'm gonna have to edit that one. I might don't even drop that one today. I might have to redo it and do it for tomorrow. But I don't know. StreamYard been acting funny. But basically, man, like I was saying, like I thought I taught my boys better than that to be running around here, laughing at grown people. You know, like I said, they was up there laughing at this short man, and I was like, man, don't you even do that. Y'all don't even play that type of game, you know. And that goes to show me what they do when I'm not around. Because if kids tend to do something, foul or crazy when they're there with you, they're doing 5, 10 times worse when you're not around. So I checked them, made them go to the car, and I told her, I said, man, y'all ain't getting that. I think they was finna go get some toys or buy some cards or something. They're like gift cards. I was like, man, y'all ain't getting nothing. Go to the car. They were so mad. And I was like, how dare you laugh at this guy? This guy can't help it that he's short. He a grown man. He's short. I was like, you won't do that to somebody that, the family, I ain't going to say the person's name, but, we know somebody short, that's not in our family, but a friend of the family. And I was going at him so hard. I was like, why won't you do that to him? Cause he'll punch you in your mouth, he'll beat you up, and I ain't got nothing to say about it. Cause you know better. And so they got a little offended. They said they were sorry. I said I should make you go in there and tell him he's sorry, but he didn't know that she was laughing at him. If he did, I definitely would have made him go back in there and apologize to that man. Because I'm like, we don't do that. My great grandmother, she always said, "Hey, Patty Southern's kitchen and more. What's going on?" My great grandma always said, it's a different type of class, different type of way you represent yourself and represent your family, and we don't do that. You know, everybody else they choose to be wild and crazy. We don't gotta be wild and crazy. You know, and it was funny because I was at an event one time and I seen these little kids. They were cutting up. They was running around going crazy, and my two boys they went to the wall. They stood at the wall, and they just stood there and watched all those kids going crazy. I'm talking about they were throwing candy at each other. I came around that corner with the other parents. Everybody looked at their kids, and I looked at mine. I turned back around. Everybody they was going in on their kids. What y'all doing? Y'all messing up this place? I think it was like a hall or something, but they were having a party. And I was like, man, Latoya's cooking. I gotta pull back up your channel. Let me screenshot because I just reset my phone, so I got a lot of people. I gotta go back and check out their channel and stuff because I just reset my whole notifications, everything. So it's all different now. And when it came down to it, the parents they were so mad that their kids was running around acting crazy, and they was like, "Ooh, your kids got some manners." They didn't participate in none of that. I say, "Yeah," because they knew they was gonna get if they did participate in that. You know, and all the other kids, I'm talking about the parents was just yelling at them and grabbing them, but they wasn't doing nothing. I'm like, "Whoa, they must gonna whoop them when they get home or something." Because I already told mine, 9 times out of 10, I don't try to discipline my kids in public. But if you do something too crucial, you getting it right there where you at. That's how I was raised. That's how I was taught. And I always tell people, when it come down to it, I learned from the best. I was raised by my grandma, and let you know, kids don't run that household. Conscious, what's going on? What's going on, Conscious? I always said best. Kids do not run my household. If a kid run the household, that means I don't live there. Because kids don't run my household. Kids don't tell me how to do things. Kids don't tell me how to represent, you know, uh, be to a degree in my house, tell me how to pay my bills, tell me how to do anything that's going to make my house be beneficial or be depreciated. No, no. I was just, at the Mother's Day luncheon and dinner together. And well, they did the whole day. They did my wife family. They did breakfast, they did lunch, and they did dinner all over there at the house. And one of my family members, his daughter, was over there, and what? And she kind of get a little beside herself at times. And I had to tell her, I whoop kids. I like you might want to get away from me. And she got the drift when I said that, you know. And the dad, he kind of let her get away with it a little bit. So, I don't try to push the issue. What's going on, brother love? Hey man, I be checking out them videos, man. Nice work, nice work. I be going over there hovering there, you and Conscious. I be hovering over y'all videos. I got some good work. Miss Patty be doing her walking and stuff. And like I say, Latoya, I got to get back over there and see you cooking and stuff because I like your story over there on Too Raw and everything. I got to get back. Like I said, I had to do a lot of resetting on my YouTube because I wasn't hardly getting no notifications. I didn't know that the notifications were set to like 2-3 hours. Every notification come 2 hours or something. Then I had another notification. Like I know I stopped the notification for shorts and posts. I don't even remember not setting the posts, but I know like with the notification for shorts, I didn't want notifications from the channels and notifications from the shorts. So most of the time when I like a lot of people's shorts, I'm going through shorts and I see your shorts through the mixture of different shorts. Other than that, I don't try to get notifications from shorts like that because I'm already getting notifications from the channel. Then I'm gonna get notifications from the shorts. Then I'm gonna get notification from your post. I'm like, that's a lot of notifications. So I try to, cut it down to a little bit, not too many notifications like that. So, if I don't see a lot of people notifications from the shorts and stuff, so that's what that is. But, needless to say, man, I go in on my kids hard. Even my two older kids, like they were well, groomed and my wife had them right, but there were certain little things need to be tweaked, between my son and my daughter. And it was more or less the way I look at things need to be in perspective. They wasn't bad kids. They were respectable to this day. The grown kids, they respectable. So I never had any problem with it. Even with my younger kids, they get out of a little pocket every now and then, but it comes down to their generation. So if I was to go on like a whooping brigade, and if I was going on a whooping brigade, sorry about it, I'm driving, but if I was going on a whooping brigade and start whooping on kids, then everybody will look at me crazy. But my thing is this, bar none, kids do not run the household. I told my daughter, I told my son, even my two younger boys, I said, if y'all got kids and they bad, you might don't want to let them over my house because kids do not run the house. What's going on? Just said too, Raw. Well, hey, what they say when they, somebody talking about you when they popping up. What's going on, too, Raw? Yeah, but like I said, I was getting on them. Hey, if y'all kids bad, don't let them come to my house. My wife cousin, she had a little daughter, and I told her daughter, I told her mom, I was like, hey, she was like, my daughter want to come spend the night at your house, and it's okay. I'm like, yeah, she family. I say, but she better not act up. I say, cause I don't play. I say, I'm a papa. Then I'm gonna call you. I say, I ain't gonna call you first and then papa. I'm gonna rectify the situation right then and there. Then I'm gonna call you and let you know what I did. And she was like, you whoop people kids? I said, yes, I do. So if you don't want your kids whooped, don't bring them in my house. Hey. And so when it came down to it, she never spent the night at my house. And you know what? That lets me know she had a bad kid. So I'm glad she didn't let that child come to my house. Because I let it be known. Do not let these bad kids at my house. Because if you do, I'm going to whoop them. And I'm going to tell you after I did it, not before. So you can say I handle it when I get home. No. I said that to my wife. Everything but before we got married, I explained that to her. I'm not an abusive man. My wife had 2 kids. I told her I'm not an abusive man, but I take no disrespect from no child. If I don't take disrespect from an adult, why would I take disrespect from a child? So I let it be known, if you don't want me whooping your kids, we might as well cut this date, relationship all off right now. Because I'm not letting no child tell me what to do and say you can't do nothing to me. You can't touch me. I'm going to tell my daddy. My oldest daughter and son have never told me I'm going to tell my daddy on you. Now, needless to say, they might not have said it behind closed doors because I was rough on them when they did certain things, especially my daughter. That's why I was glad I had twin boys. I was like, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But needless to say, though, even my little cousin, my aunt, she got a little upset, but I told her, I said, hey, better not let her come around me no more then. My little cousin, I took her to a wedding. What was it? After party of the wedding. Because, they had a little, their wedding was at the courthouse. So after they left the courthouse, they had a little, get together afterwards to dinner and stuff. Because they didn't want to do the big wedding. So they just wanted to feed the people and all this other stuff. So I didn't have nothing wrong with that. This is one of my friend's sisters. So I said, well, I go in support of her because me and her are cool and stuff. So I fooled around. What's going on, Wanda? So I fooled around to go to the wedding, dinner or whatever that was that they called it. But I had my little cousin, and his sister. So my little boy cousin, I think at the time he was around 10 or 11, short for his age. And then um, his sister, she was probably about 3 or 4. No, I think she was about 4 because she was wow. 3, she was a little better. She moved around, she smiled, didn't really talk much. But that toddler, wow, like I think it had to be between 3 and 4. That girl was off the chain. So while we in there eating, she goes and take the chicken bones and she throw a chicken bone across the room. And I was like, what? Man, what you do that for? And so she like, so ate the chicken off the bone and threw another one. So I said, man, what's wrong with you? Then my friend was like, oh, that little girl, wow. So I went to go get her. She's about to throw another chicken bone. I was like, I'm so sorry. Told her brother, I said, man, get your sister plate, get my plate, put it all together, and we're gonna take this go. I might take her home to her mama. I said, I might come back later. So they said, okay, we understand, we understand. When I got her to that car, I think I was probably what about 20, I think I was probably like 22, 21, 22. I laid off in them legs so much. I put her in that car seat. I strapped her down where she couldn't go nowhere. It's like putting her in an electric chair. If I start popping them legs, she couldn't move. All she could do was just squirm. She couldn't get out of that chair. And lo and behold, she went to crying, telling me, "You don't do that. You don't do that to me. You don't do that to me. Only my mama with me." I said, "Guess what? Pop them legs again. Your mama not here." I say, "Don't be acting bad around me." I was tearing them little legs up, boy. So when I got her home, I called her. I called my aunt while I was driving there, and my aunt told me something. "You don't whoop my child. I'm gonna see you when." I said, "Look, what I can do is I can drop your kids off at the door, or I can drop your kids off out here on the street. Hey, she got an older brother. He can take care of her till you get here." She told me, "Oh, you better stop playing with me, boy. Don't you do my?" I said, "Auntie," I said, "I ain't know this girl was this bad. You knew she was this bad. Don't send no bad kids with me. Don't send no bad kids with me." And so the next time I took her out, she basically, behaved herself because she knew she was gonna get that pop pop. And so when it boiled down to it, that was the thing. Like she knew that messing with me was gonna get her in trouble. So she had to be on her extra best behavior. And that was the thing. What's going on, Bunny? Rose in the building. I seen you earlier, Bunny. I told you I've been catching you live now ever since I did my setting. So, but yeah, I was popping them little legs, and I told her after that they had no more problems out of her. Now she older, she get a little slick at the mouth, cause I think she 19 now. But other than that, I told her, hey, yeah, watch that mouth with me. Might want to step back. You know, I say you old enough to get popped. I just be messing with it now. I'll be trying to hit these grown kids. I tell them, y'all grown now. I say, for the boys, I tell them I knock it out. I knock you out. Don't play like that. I tell the girls just go somewhere. I don't need them around me. You know. But at the same time, I just be letting like the way these people raise kids nowadays. Like the kids run the house. I seen this one dude arguing with this older lady. Boy, every bit of 17 years old, don't even look like he need to be having cigarettes. So he's cussing his grandma out because she got the wrong cigarettes, and now she got to go back to the cigarette counter and get the right cigarettes. So obviously, grandma don't smoke. He smokes, and so he cussing her out because she got the wrong cigarettes. So I'm like, man, what is going on here? And then it's like I can intervene and say something, but this only gonna be right here. because when I leave, the stuff still continues. So it's like I'm only going to intervene to do what? Pause this situation because the situation is going to continue. And that always be the biggest issue. Like in the present time, you can do something, but life is gonna still go back to where it was. I remember these kids was jumping on my aunt's car. So I came over with my brother and we spent the night. So my aunt say around a certain time, they go jumping on the cars. So we went out the back door, playing with the kids outside and all this, and brought our little ball and stuff to play. Just tell them we come from another neighborhood or whatever. And lo and behold, it's about that time they finna go jump on the car. Me and my brother, we let them get ready to go over there, jump on the car. We go knock on the door, and the kids looking like, what they doing? We put the balls at the door, and we like, hey man, what y'all doing jumping on my auntie car like that? And they like, but y'all with us. Y'all was playing with us. We came over here because y'all jumping on my auntie car. So now this whole situation done got crazy. They like, hold on. These little kids know that lady, that old lady. So they mad now. They like, man, we finna get jumped by these kids. Like me and my brother, I was big for my size, but we all were around about the same age, about 13 or so. So I was, big for my size. And man, I don't like the setting on here. My phone always going to sleep a certain time. But basically, when they got down to it, we was about to beat up these kids. And when they realized, they was like, man, I don't know, because it was like six of them. And I don't think they thought they could beat us. So they kept yelling, we going to go get our big brother. Go get our big brother. And I'm laughing because my cousin, which is my auntie's son, he was coming to pick us up to take us home and bringing my big brother. And so I'm laughing. And lo and behold, some big old dudes came over there to play basketball and they was talking junk with the kids and telling them, hey man, y'all leave them old people alone. Y'all leave them alone. What y'all doing? And then they got the drift from there. Auntie didn't have no more problem with them. And every now and then I come over there and we'll go outside and play with the kids. And be like, man, that's my auntie. We all jumping on the car anyway, folks. Well, it was fun, and she never said nothing. And so her thing was because the kids were a little bigger, she didn't want to start no problem and get them to bust her car up. And she told them one time, but you know, she's older and she only had her daughter, and her daughter, she didn't want nothing started because the older guys used to try to hit on her daughter and everything. So she really didn't want to push that. Tamika, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing? You coming to a live? You coming to a live? I'm just talking about these little bad, disrespectful kids. You know, but just raising awareness for people. To do something with your kids. Help me, help you, because these kids are getting to the point where they off the chain, and you know, I don't want my child to be a statistic because for all of us that was born in the 80s, probably 90s or so, you remember the movie, it wasn't Colors. What was it? Menace? No, not Menace to Society. What was the one with OG Bobby Johnson? Was that Colors? No, that wasn't Colors. Uh, I can't even think of the name. But basically, you had the little young boy where his dad went to jail for killing a guy, and then his son was out there stealing radios and stuff. And I remember the OG Bobby Johnson, because I always remember that. And in that scene, his dad wasn't around, so the OG was trying to groom his son up to be just like he was when he was a kid. He the one that taught him the ways to go pull triggers and shoot and all that stuff because his father wasn't around. And it was just a crazy thing. And the man, shot the kid, and man, it was a baby. It got to that point to where I don't want my kids in that same scenario. I don't want my kids to be sitting up here getting to a point to where they get themselves caught up almost getting shot or getting beat up by a grown man. Because my motto is every time a situation occurs like that, the first thing I'm going to say is, what did you do? Because I know my kids. I've always talked to several adults, and when they tell me, well, your kids did this and your kids did that, I know my kids. Now, I know they can be sneaky and vindictive. I just recently got on one of my sons for doing something and making me look bad. Ooh, I was so hot because I'm coming in defense of him getting in trouble for a situation that he did. And lo and behold, my wife didn't tell me about two other situations that occurred with him. And so that put me in a bad situation. And like I said, I was raised old school. Don't embarrass your parents. I always say, you show your butt in school, I'm gonna take your butt when you get home. All my kids knew that. So they knew without a shadow of a doubt that they can't get in trouble and get the call to me. Every parent, and then it's kind of strange too because in the school system, my wife this year she because my kids went to middle school, they did a teacher parent conference. So I'm on the phone with the teachers and I'm talking to the teachers, and lo and behold, the teacher's like, okay, who do we have the pleasure of speaking with? And I'm like, Mr. and Mrs., and they like, oh, Dad's here. I'm like, yeah. And one of the teachers say, well, we just assumed that your wife was the only one by herself. I say, well, don't y'all see my name on the registry? I'm like, don't you see my name on the registry? I'm with my wife. Don't you see that, we on this conference call together? Oh yeah, we just never heard from you, so we just assumed that you didn't stay in the house or something like that. And man, I got irritated about that. But then it showed to me that my presence is not there in the school or some to the degree. I guess I don't know because after that I was talking to the teachers. I actually end up helping the teachers with a project that they had because they were putting a garden at the school. Told them when they let me know I can come up there and give them a hand and everything. So I ended up was gonna meet up with the science teacher because they're doing gardening over there by her class. So I ended up getting some wood for them to make frames for their flowers and gardening and stuff like that. And then also she wanted to make planters, and I told them I'm down for that. I have the tools. I got saws. I got nail guns. So just let me know when. But getting myself more involved in the school, letting the teachers know that hey, if they act up, call me. I always tell every time I tell the school, don't call my wife, call me because I want to be the one to handle the situation. And my sons, they make sure as soon as they say, give me the phone so I can call your mom and your daddy. My mama number is they always say my mama number is, and I know that because every time I talk to the teacher, that's what they say. Well, he gave me your number, mom, so I'm calling. And when my wife used to work out instead of from home, they always had to call me. So she would always forward the call directly to me and be like, speak to my husband. I'm at work. I can't talk. Here's his number. And I would lay in them so bad. And it'd be minor stuff, talking too much, being disruptive to a degree. It was nothing major to really, get on them about unless they just repeatedly doing it. And she's constantly and constantly telling them to stop. And I let them know you're a hindrance to the class. If you passing, then you're not helping other kids pass by you doing all your crazy work. I'm gonna have to end this live. I got an important call. But until next time, you know what I always say? We here. And we go, oh man, Nate was it? Oh man, I just seen you, Nate the Great. Hey man, I've been missing your podcast. I've been seeing your late night ones, but I be trying to take it in for the night. But I be going in the clouds listening. But I'm gonna have to come back on. Y'all got an important call I gotta catch. A shout out to everybody. And Nate, I'm gonna have to come back and give you a wrench, man, so you can see these other good channels that I have on here too, as well as Wanda, there's Patty, you got Bunny Rose, Toya, Too Raw, Brother Love, and Conscious Martin. I seen him up in there too. But shout out to everybody. I'll holler at you later. Like I always say, we here and we gone.